Hi everyone. In the Docker series, we are going to learn today a beautiful concept. Okay, how to communication between two containers. Okay, now first of all, first understand what are we going to do. We have one container. Okay, then we have another container. All right. Now, as far as Docker is concerned, okay, every container will run its own environment. So suppose this is container 1, okay, and this is container 2. Fine. This is container 1 and this is container 2. And container 1, okay, is having some information. Okay. And this information is being consumed by this. Fine. Okay. So we have two container 1 and container 2. Okay. Container 1 is having some information and container 2 would like to consume that particular information. Okay. It means, see, this is working on an isolated environment and this is working another isolated environment. But we would like to communicate from this to this. Okay, then how do we do this? Okay, for that purpose, okay, we use the concept of Docker network or Docker consume. Fine, there are two ways of doing this. Either you can use Docker network or you can use Docker compose. Now, as far as Docker compose is concerned, I have explained you about a very good example in my last series. Okay, you can see that. Today, what are we going to do? Okay, we'll try to communicate between two services in Spring Boot. Okay, first I will explain you the case scenario. What are you going? What are we going to do? Okay, now fine. So this is my producer. I'll close everything and explain you one by one. Okay, so this is my producer. Spring Boot services. Here I am having one model that is employee. Okay, it has setter getter and two string function. All right. So it has ID, it has name, it has salary. Okay, then there is a two string function. Now we want a simple example first. Okay, what are we going to do? Okay, see this. I'm using this REST controller. Okay, and in a request mapping, I have written employee. And inside this, I have a function that is first page. You can give any name, whatever you want, and it is going to return an object of employee type. All right. I am making object of employee class, assigning term data by using setter function, and returning this employee. Okay, this is a simple example of REST controller. Okay, and the port I have mapped 9000. Okay, port I mapped 9000. All right. Now this is my producer. Okay, this is my producer service. This producer service will produce something. And another example, okay, I am having consumer. So this is my consumer service. And over here, okay, what I am doing, I am trying to consume the service which is being generated by producer. It's a very good example. Okay, now I am having this REST controller for my consumer. Okay, I am using get mapping. Okay, then localhost 9000. So it means whenever user comes and write down get details on this particular port 9000, okay, basically we are trying to invoke this service. All right. So first we'll do it in a normal way. Once you are clear about this thing, then I will jump to your Docker. And I'm using REST template over here. Okay, I have already discussed in my Spring Boot series. You can go for REST template. Okay, I'm going to consume this. All right, return response from here. So what I'll do, okay, I will run one by one first. Okay, understand without using Docker. Okay, once you get clear, then I will explain you the through Docker. So this is my Docker producer application. I will start it. Okay, now producer is already running. So what I'll do, okay, this is my controller for producer. Okay, now I'll go to this and start any browser, and I'll just say this. So I'm able to get 100 Maya and 9000. It means it's running properly. Okay, you can see here 1000 Maya and 9000. Okay, now through consumer. Okay, consumer is running on port number. One second. Port number 9001. Okay, so it means I can consume it. Okay, by saying, because I have written here get details. So what I'll do? Okay, 9000. I'll open the browser and I say fine. I hope that is very, very much clear to you. Fine. So see, now this consumer is okay consuming this REST API of your producer. Okay. So now again I'll go back over here. I'll just remove this. I'm not saving it. So what have we done till now? Okay. This producer, this is consumer. Okay. So we have seen the producer service is being consumed by your this service, okay, which is your consume service. Okay, that is working fine. Now we know that okay, to run Docker you have to have images. Okay, I'm teaching everything in very detail. Okay, you will become very good in understanding container services. Okay, now I'll go to this file. Okay, now we require okay, first of all an image. So to make an image, okay, to make an image you require a Docker file. So this is my Docker file. Okay, I have already discussed with you okay how to generate a image from Docker file. I'll show you again each and everything over here. Fine. So this is Docker file for my producer and this is Docker file for my consumer. I hope that is very, very much clear. Now I go to prompt of this. Okay. So see, this is working fine. Now I'm going to my services. Okay. So I'll just go to my downloads. Okay. First I'll go to my producer. Okay. And then I say CMD. Okay. Now I say here Docker. Okay. Images. So right now there is no image. Okay. Now I'll try to make, see, I am inside my producer. Now I'll try to make first an image for producer service. So I say Docker, okay, build, sorry, dot and image name, whatever you want. So this is producer. So I say producer and dot. Okay, you should, one second, what I've done. Docker, tag, sorry. I forgot to have tag. Okay. Docker build -t producer. Oh, sorry. Dot is there. So only thing you should be on the same directory. Okay, where the Docker file is there. So now again I see Docker images. Fine. So you can see the producer images has been made. Okay, now we require consumers. So again I'll go to my this. Okay. My downloads, my consumer. Okay, and CMD. Okay, now I am inside my Docker. So just check it. Docker file is there. Yes, Docker file is there. So now I say Docker. Okay, and build -t and image name. So I say consumer only. Okay, consumer and dot. It will take few seconds. Okay, and the image for consumer will be created. Now I say Docker images. Okay, you can see. So consumer and producer, both the images we are having. Okay, I'll just close this as well as I close this. Okay, we do not require this images ready. So now again I'll go here. Okay, to my paintbrush. So this image is ready and this image is ready. Fine. Now we would like to communicate, okay, from this to this. Okay, we are planning to communicate from this to this. All right, this. Now it is running on an isolated environment. It is running on isolated environment. Okay, so one thing, okay, you can use Docker Compose. Another way, okay, we can generate something known as, okay, Docker network. Fine, you can create Docker network. Okay, now what I'm supposed to do, so I'll go to my command prompt, any command prompt now because images are ready. Okay, and just say Docker images. Okay, you can see here. Now what we require, okay, please just observe it. Okay, now what we require, up to here I think everything is clear. Now we require a network. Okay, we require a network. So what I'll do now, okay, if you want to make a network, okay, first of all, how can you see all the network? So I'll go to my command prompt and I say, okay, Docker network ls. When you say Docker network ls, it will display you all the networks which are currently available. But suppose you want to make a new network. Okay, you want to make a new network. So how can you make that? Okay, just write this command. Okay, this create any network you can give it. Okay, so I say my network, or let us say I say Mumbai network. Net, that's all. Now again I say Docker and I say network ls. Okay. Okay, can you see here? Mumbai net is there. Okay, now what I'm going to do, okay, these two container will use this network. Okay, we use this network to communicate between them. Okay, I think very much clear. So now I have already explained you how to run. Okay, so what I'll do now, okay, I will run Docker container run. Whenever you want to use any network, you will be writing Docker container run hyphen network, name of the network, hyphen name of the container, hyphen p, port, and host port for the container, hyphen d detachment, and the name of the image that you are going to utilize. Okay, so it means the name of the container is here right now, producer 1, and here Docker container working on the same network, hyphen network name, and then consumer 1, the name of the container that you want to have. Okay, on this port you want to run them, and the name, the image that you are going to use is consumer. Okay, so the network is same. After this, okay, we can run both the container and can communicate to each other. Now, what changes you are supposed to make? Okay, see this here. So again, please observe it. Now I am going to my consumer. So where is my consumer? This is my consumer. Okay, now see. Now earlier we were using localhost. Okay, please understand, it's a critical thing. Earlier we used to have local network, local host, but now, okay, there is no concept of localhost because they are working on a network. So you will be changing here, okay, you will be changing here the name of the container that you are going to keep. This I am talking about, this. Okay, so we'll try to comment this, okay, and we'll try to this. I hope this is clear. So what we are doing now, okay, we are saying, okay, in place of localhost, please use producer 1. And producer 1 is the name of the container that we are going to utilize. Is it crystal clear? And this I have written over here. Okay, just see here. Network producer 1. This we are going to utilize this. Okay, I think very much clear. Now what I'll do, okay, see here. Again I'll come here. and this is my producer. Right click, okay, run as Maven clean, okay, and because I make some changes, right click, run as, and again say Maven install. Okay, done. Okay, same thing now. Yeah, it takes some time. Yes, now same thing I'll do for consumer. Right click, run as, okay, clean, Maven clean. Okay, again come here. Okay, then right click, run as Maven install. Okay, now let it generate. It will take a few seconds. Okay, then here file will be generated over here. Okay, now what I'll do, I'll go to my distance. So see this, there is no container right now, images are there. What I'll do, I'll delete these images. Okay, because now I have made some changes. Okay, so I think up to here everybody is clear. Now I'll go to my consumer cmd and I say docker, okay, build -t, okay, and name of the image. Okay, name of the image. Sorry, wait. Okay, docker build -t consumer and yes, dot. Okay, now it will generate the image for consumer. Okay, you can see here docker images. I think clear. Okay, now I'll visit to my another program that is for producer. Okay, this is my producer. Okay, cmd and I say docker. Alright, build -t and producer and dot. Correct? So now the image for your producer has been created. Okay, you can see here. I'll just quit from here and close this. You can see here. Okay, now I'll go to any fine. Okay, I have generated a network, Mumbai network. So now what I'll do, okay, see here. I'll write down now this. Okay, because see on the container, okay, on the container I have changed to producer and I generated a new image. So what I'll do now, okay, I'll run this command. Okay, this command. So, alright, see this. Docker container run --network, name of the network. So now in front of you, okay, I have created a new network that is Mumbai network. So I say Mumbai net. Okay, name of the container and port number is this. Okay, ports are not available. Okay, I think the ports are busy right now. Okay, let's say I'll change this to some different port. Export TCP/IP 9000. Listen up to. Okay, response from down ports are not available. Exporting port. Okay, fine. Let's say I'll say 8000 and 8000. Okay, -d and producer. Producer one already. Okay, fine. Producer one is already there, na? So I say this as 11. Okay, now it is working. Docker, okay, PS stand for process. Okay, you can see this producer 1. Now again, okay, I say Mumbai net. Now I say consumer 1. Your name of this thing. Okay, now I use 9,000 for this, so I use 7,000. Okay, and 7,000. And image now I'll be using consumers. Okay, which I just generated. Okay, right? Docker PS. You can see generated 7,000. Now I'll go to my Docker compose. Okay, so these two images are there, and I'll go to the container. Okay, now please see here. Okay, the container is running. Okay, and the producer is running. Correct. Now what I'll do. Okay, if you observe here. Okay, if you observe here, this is running on 8,000. Okay, your producer one. Okay, and the consumer is running on 7,000. So what I'll do now, I'll go to this, and this is 8,000. Okay, because they all right. So we have two services. This is producer. Okay, and this is consumer. All right. So now I'm going to. So this is my Docker desktop. Okay, producer one, producer two. Okay, now what are we going to do? Okay, now please just see this here. Okay, what I have done, I am running here. Okay, I have generated network here, Suresh network, and I'm saying Docker container run -- network Suresh network. So I am saying that I want to work on this network whose name is Suresh network. Okay, and I want to generate a container whose name is producer one. It will work on port 9000, and we are using -d stand for detached mode, and the producer is the image that we are going to utilize. Then again, I am generating new container. Okay, on the same network. Name of the container is consumer one. Port is 9001, and I am using image as consumer. So it means now, if you look at this image, okay, there is 1 second. This network. Okay, they are on the same network. Alright, it means now, okay, this consumer can consume the service which is provided by your producer. Okay, now what changes I have done? Okay, just see here. Okay, initially when I was running on the local system, I used to say localhost, but now I have changed it to producer one. Now, what is producer one? Please understand. If you have any doubt, please write in the comment section. I will clarify that. Producer one in the name of the container for the producer service. Okay. Now I hope it is clear. 9,000 and 9001 port. I have mapped it. Now, and there are two containers which are running here. You can see here. The container is producer one and consumer one, and image is this. And this container producer one, I have made changes into this. Okay, let's go to the browser. Okay, so you can see 9,000 producer, and see 9001. I am typing your get details, and get detail is basically trying to consume the service, okay, which is being made by producer. So I hope that is very much clear to you. If you really like this, please subscribe it.